Hello everyone, welcome to my 16th video lecture on partial differential equations. In this method we shall discuss one of the most important method of solving a first order nonlinear partial differential equation. So this Char-Pitts method which we are going to consider is to be employed to solve a first order nonlinear partial differential equation of any kind. In the previous videos, we have seen the method of solution for the partial differential equations which were categorized as type number 1, type number 2, type number 3 and type number 4. That was Clairaut's form at the end. But here there is no restriction. Whatever may be the form of the given partial differential equation, if it is of first order and if it is nonlinear, that can be solved by using the Char-Pitts method. So what is the Char-Pitts method? First we have to write down the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations. So what are the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations? They are very important. We should remember them and write down the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations in the beginning. So Char-Pitts auxiliary equations are dp by dou f by dou x plus p into dou f by dou z. I should tell you what is f here. F is, see, whatever is the given first order nonlinear partial differential equation, it should be converted in the form of some LHS equal to 0. That is, whatever quantities are there on the right hand side, they must be taken to the left, and it should be in the form of f of some relation between x, y, z, p, q. That is equal to 0. So that entire left hand side should be taken as f, and that is to be taken over here. So this is the first one, first member, that is equal to dq divided by dou f by dou y. By looking at this, we can now write down dou f by dou y plus q into, it is again dou f by dou z. Now the third one is dz divided by minus of p into dou f by dou p plus q into dou f by dou q, that is equal to dx divided by dz is over dp, dq, dz and then dx. Dx divided by minus dou f by dou p, and that is equal to dy by minus dou f by dou q, that is. So these are the ratios we have equated, and these are the simultaneous equations, and these are called as Char-Pitts auxiliary equations, and each member can be equal to a common constant k that we can consider for our convenience. By choosing two suitable members from these, and on integration we will get a relation involving p or q or both p and q, and then we have to find the values of p and what is the value of q. We have to find out, that is, the value of p and q from should be evaluated in the later step. And finally we have to use the well-known equation, that is p dx plus q dy equal to dz, and then we have to integrate it in order to get the required complete integral. So this is how one can proceed as per the Char-Pitts method to get the complete integral of a first order nonlinear partial differential equation. So let us try the first example. The first equation is p square plus q square into y equal to qz. As per the procedure, we have to take all the quantities to the left hand side. That is, we have to rearrange the given equation in the form p square plus q square into y minus qz equals to 0. So we have got f of p, q, y, z equal to 0, and let us call it as equation number 1. So this is the partial differential equation which is now in the form of f equal to something. So here f is p square plus q square within the bracket multiplied by y minus qz. So we have to use this to write the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations. So now let us write down the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations. So what are the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations? dp by dou f by dou x plus p into dou f by dou z equals to dq by dou f by dou y plus q into dou f by dou z, that is equals to three more members are there. Let us take them dot dot dot, because we are going to use only these two members in order to get the relation between p and q. It is so easy in this case. Therefore we are not interested in writing the further members here in the Char-Pitts auxiliary equations. Only these two members are enough. Now let us proceed. Using the value of f here, we can write down the value of the denominators. So that implies dp divided by dou f by dou x. The value of dou f by dou x is 0 because there is no x term available in f. Therefore it is 0 plus p as it is dou f by dou z. So this is not containing z, therefore it is 0 minus q into 1. So it is minus q here equals to, the second term is dq divided by dou f by dou y is present, that is p square plus q square as it is, the bracket differentiation of y is 1, so it is over, plus q as it is dou f by dou z, that is differentiation of this with respect to z is minus q, so here it is minus q, again minus q square plus q square cancelled. So we are going to have here dp divided by, from these two members, dp divided by minus pq equals to dq divided by q square cancelled, it is p square. In the next step p cancelled, it is dp divided by 1 and dp divided by q. Let us write down, or we shall do one thing, we shall cancel p with this p and we shall cross multiply. That is going to be minus p dp equals to q dq. So when we integrate this, that is on integration, it implies minus p square by 2 equals to q square by 2 plus a, the constant of integration. So if we multiply throughout by 2 and simplify the terms by taking minus p square to that side, it will give us plus p square, that is p square plus q square. We shall write it as p square plus q square. On the other side it will be 2a. Actually it is when we multiply by 2, it is minus p square equal to q square plus 2a, and when we transfer this 2a to the other side, it becomes minus 2a, and here it is p square plus q square will be remaining on the left hand side. Now this is the value. If we want to call 2a as another constant, let us take it as a1, where a1 is minus 2a. So it is p square plus q square equal to a1. So let us call it as equation number 2. Now we can consider one important relation, that is the given equation p square plus q square into y minus qz equal to 0. p square plus q square value we have obtained now as a1, therefore it is going to be a1 into y minus qz equal to 0. Therefore equation number 1 implies, after substituting the value of p square plus q square as a1, we are going to have a1 into y minus qz equals to 0, and this after simplification gives the value of q of what should be done. Qz should be taken to the other side. It becomes plus qz, that is equal to a1y, and a1y divided by z will be the value of q. We are intended to find the value of p and q. The value of q is simply a1y divided by z. So the value of q we have obtained here. This is an important thing, and we shall substitute this value into equation number 2. Therefore equation number 2 implies what we want. We want the value of p square. P square equals to a1 minus q square. a1 minus q square, and the value of q square is available here, that is a1 minus a1 square y square divided by z square. This is the value of q square we have written over here. This implies we can take LCM and we can simplify here. That is going to be z square a1 into z square minus a1 square into y square divided by z square. That is, taking LCM is simple. LCM is z square, and here z square remains. Z square will be multiplied here, a1 into z square minus this thing remaining as it is. So this is the value of p square. Therefore the value of p from this is square root of this thing divided by square root of z square. Square root of z square is 1 by z. Let us write down here first. Then square root of a1 z square minus a1 square into y square. Let us keep it as it is. So the value of p is here, the value of q is here. Let us substitute them into the so-called important relation p dx plus q dy equal to dz. P dx plus q dy equal to dz. So the value of p is available here, that is 1 by z into root of a1 z square minus a1 square y square into dx, plus q is a1 y by z into dy, that is on LHS, whereas on RHS it is simply dz remaining. Now z is here in the denominator of first term and as well as in the denominator of the second term. So if we cross multiply this z here, after taking common and cross multiplying, we will be having the terms on left hand side will be square root of a1 z square minus a1 square into y square dx plus a1y into dy equal to z dz, that is. So we have cross multiplied and got this thing. Now in the next step we shall take this, because with dx we want to have always the x terms. Here the coefficient of dx is not at all containing any x term, it is containing only y and z terms. We don't want this thing over here, we want to transfer it to the other side, and it is better if we transfer this quantity also to the left, that is the other side, that is the right hand side. So what shall be done? First let us keep this as it is, square root of a1 z square minus a1 square y square into dx as it is, whereas on the right hand side it is z dz minus a1 into y dy. After taking it to the other side becomes minus sign, and therefore this implies after transferring this to the other side it is going to be dx equals to z dz in the numerator minus a1y dy along with that. So this is the numerator divided by the denominator is square root of something like a1 z square minus a1 square y square, that is. So this is the thing which is coming to the denominator. Now our duty is to arrange the terms here on the right hand side. Left hand side is very easy, we can directly integrate, whereas the right hand side must be simplified a little bit. So what we are observing over here, numerator, if we take a1 root a1 as a common factor, now see, we shall do one more thing over here, that is implying dx equals to z dz minus a1 into y dy as it is, divided by square root of a1. If we keep it outside, so the thing remaining within the bracket will be square root of z square. a1 has been taken outside along with its square root, z square minus, when one a1 goes outside, one more a1 will be remaining here because it is a1 square. So it is a1 into y square remaining within the square root. So this is the thing we are having, and we are observing here one important thing, that is the derivative of this is 2z dz minus a1 into 2y dy. That is something over here if we multiply by 2. So it is better to multiply and divide by 2. That is 2z dz minus 2 into a1y dy divided by, so we have multiplied by 2, let us divide by 2 here, and then the remaining things are to be kept root a1 as it is into square root of that z square minus a1 y square as it is. So we are having this thing. Now let us make a substitution for this quantity, that is if we take z square minus a1 y square as t, it implies 2z dz minus 2a1y dy equals to simply dt. So what we are observing, by choosing this thing, this radicand equal to t, the numerator is going to be dt. So therefore the right hand side is now becoming a very simple thing, that is 1 divided by 2 root a1, a constant as it is outside. Here within the bracket it is dt divided by root of t remaining. Now it is very easy to integrate. Therefore when we integrate on both sides, it is integration of 1 with respect to x, that is equal to 1 by 2 root a1 as it is into integration of dt divided by root t as it is. Now this implies integration of 1 with respect to x is x, and on RHS it is 1 divided by 2 root a1 as it is, and it is t to the power minus half. When it is integrated with respect to t, it is t to the power plus half. Minus half plus 1 is t to the power of plus half divided by plus half, and this 2, it goes to the numerator and cancels with this 2, and it is t to the power 1 by 2, that is under root of t. So therefore we are going to get x equal to 2 cancelled, it is root t by root a1, or it is implying x is equal to under root of t by a1. So let us substitute the value of t back. So it is x equal to under root of t value is z square minus a1 y square divided by a1, that is. I have forgotten one more thing over here. We have to write one more constant of integration, that is b. After performing the integration process here, integration integration. I have to write a constant of integration, that is plus b here, and here also plus b will be coming, here also plus b will be coming, and here also plus b will be coming. So this relation is the final relation. If we rearrange the terms, we can get the value of z here in terms of two arbitrary constants a and b. So therefore this is going to be the required complete integral of the given partial differential equation, which was first order and non-linear, and the method we employed is Char-Pitts method. So this is how one can use the method so conveniently in order to get the complete integral.